Well, the trade deadline has come and gone, and certainly somebody that was extremely busy during it, Kevin Pritchard, Pacers president, is with us now, and I know we can't talk about everything in terms of potential moves that may happen in the next couple of days, but let's talk a little bit big picture with what you were able to do. Can you take us through what I'm sure was a lot of conversations and ultimately how this team ended up?
Well, we went into the trade deadline, you try to have a goal in mind, right? And you look at a lot of deals, some that are coming at you and some that you maybe make offers. We weren't as aggressive making the offers because this team has played so well together. And we have a lot of confidence in that. Continuity means a ton. And last year in the playoffs we played so well, and this team has come together again this year, and we're competing our butts off now that it's hard to mess with that, it really is. So we wanted to play around the edges, and so our goals, number one was I wanted to get an asset, and we were able to acquire a second-round pick that could be very valuable in the future. We need more of that, and I want to get more of that for future opportunities. And then the second thing is we wanted to look at what the buyout market was going to be, and I think it's going to be pretty robust. We're going to take a hard look at some of those. We're talking to them today of some of the guys that have been waived, and it's highly competitive for those guys. It's a recruiting process, and so we're gonna work the phones today. We're going to talk to a player, and hopefully in the next 24 hours we'll have an opportunity to have some news. You
mentioned wanting to get asset rich. How do you balance doing that and then also thinking 3-4 years down the line and this season as well?
Well, it's always a challenge because you get caught up in this year, but we have a coach that looks at today, this hour, this minute. And my job is to look at the long term, and then we come together for a balance. And that's sort of the yin and the yang of how you put a team together.
Did Oladipo's injury influence at all how you went upon this trade deadline?
Maybe a little bit. With Victor out there, we have an elite closer. And so, can you go out into the marketplace and get a player of Victor's talents and his closing ability? No. So the reality is you'd want to, and you can search for it. But without being so cost prohibitive, you just can't really get somebody you feel comfortable with.
If you are able to have success here in news in the next 24 hours or so, do you feel like you were able to improve the team right now and then also improve its long-term perspective as well?
I think we did a good job. Chad, Peter, and Kelly did a great job of mining the phones to see how we could get a second-round pick. And that came at the very tail end, and we were able to get that done, which was I was really wanting. So credit to those three people. And then in the buyout market, I feel like if we get the person we're after, and I'm getting more comfortable. I think it's going to take a little bit more, but I'm getting more comfortable. If we get that person, I think we've hit a home run in terms of making this team better and helping ourselves in the future.
When you look at what this team was able to do post-trade deadline last year when you kept the core together, and you look at even just the sample size of the last couple of games, it seems like that would have to breed optimism for what the rest of this year has.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We believe in 3T. We believe in our core. We believe in our certain principles, and we live and breathe those every single day. We talk to the players. They talk to us about it. And so if we're about those things, I think that trickles down to every decision we make too. It makes our decision-making process so much easier, because if that's what we're really about, then our decisions get made in that vacuum.
There clearly is still work to do here, but what are the emotions from you now that the trade deadline is coming fast?
Well, we all love, if you don't love the trade deadline, then you probably shouldn't be in this business, because you always want to look to improve your team both short and long term. And sometimes you play around the edges, and sometimes you make the big trades. We've been so fortunate to have this group of guys play the right way, play hard, play together, play smart, be competitive on a consistent basis. That how do you go into the core of that and change? I can't do that. I can't take those tools and those players and those humans away from Nate, because they're doing what we ask. And so I didn't feel like we could make those changes, those big wholesale changes. Not with this team.
Well, congratulations, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, Pat.